Welcome to this explainer. Look, if you've ever watched your NestJS app run absolutely perfectly on your laptop, only to completely fall apart the second it hits the real world, you are in the exact right place. Today, we're breaking down why your backend API just isn't truly serious until its database strategy is serious. Let's get right into it. We're going to take a journey from that naive, easy magic of local development straight into the harsh realities of production. To do that, we'll hit 6 main architectural pillars: the serious database strategy, escaping the ORM trap, the magic of migrations, designing for true performance, safeguarding your data, and finally, mastering transaction boundaries. All right, let's dive into part 1, the serious database strategy, and how we move way beyond just controllers and services. There's an incredibly blunt quote from our source material that just hits the nail on the head. A backend API is not serious until its database strategy is serious. Think about that for a second. As developers, we absolutely love to obsess over crafting the perfect controllers or endlessly tweaking our business logic. But the vast majority of real-world production outages, they happen right at the data layer. Because without a serious, disciplined strategy, you are inevitably going to face the horrors of production. We're talking missing indexes that make your queries crawl, broken migrations that corrupt your environments, or the sheer sweat-inducing panic of complete connection pool exhaustion. It's a nightmare scenario, and it stems entirely from treating the database like an afterthought. So, how exactly do we fall into these traps to begin with? Let's get into section 2, escaping the ORM trap, and the hidden cost of convenience. If you're building in the NestJS ecosystem, you probably know the standard setup pairs TypeORM with Postgres. And TypeORM is amazing, right? It magically maps your TypeScript classes directly to your database tables. You don't have to write a bunch of raw SQL for every little thing. You just define an entity and boom, the tool handles the rest. But man, this magic hides a massive trap. It leads to severe performance bottlenecks, like the dreaded N+1 problem. Imagine you write a seemingly simple command to fetch 100 orders and then grab the customer for each one. What looks like super clean, simple TypeScript code actually triggers 101 separate database queries behind the scenes. In production, that will absolutely crush your performance. So, to escape this trap, you've got to cleanly separate your architecture. We do this using dependency inversion. Instead of coupling everything to TypeORM, you create a contract, like a simple interface defining what you need. Say, finding a product by its ID. Then, you have a separate implementation file that actually handles the TypeORM logic. Why bother? Well, if you ever need to ditch TypeORM entirely to fix performance with raw SQL, your core business logic doesn't have to change one bit. Okay, moving on to managing the database structure itself. Section 3, the magic of migrations, evolving schemas safely. If you use TypeORM, you definitely know about the synchronized true setting. Locally, it is incredibly convenient. You add a property to a class, and TypeORM instantly alters your database tables to match. But our source highlights a terrifying truth. Leaving this setting turned on in a live production environment is basically a ticking time bomb. The contrast is pretty stark. While autosync feels great on your laptop, in production, it can blindly drop or alter your database structure without a single human reviewing it. If you simply rename a column in your code, autosync might just drop the old column along with all your real customer data inside it and replace it with a totally blank slate. And that is exactly why a serious backend demands explicit migration discipline. Migrations are just versioned files of your schema changes. They need to be strictly committed to Git, heavily reviewed in pull requests, and tested thoroughly before deployment. You add your indexes intentionally, and you always have a rollback strategy ready to go. All right, so we've got a stable schema. Let's talk speed. Section 4, designing for true performance. Don't guess, measure. Here is a fundamental truth to keep in mind. A poorly designed Postgres schema is going to perform terribly, no matter what ORM you slap on top of it. If you're constantly searching products by their name, you cannot rely on TypeORM magic to make it fast. You need intentional, explicit database indexes on those frequently searched fields. And the kicker here? Never, ever guess your performance. You might think adding an index fixed the problem, but you actually have to prove it. You do that using Postgres tools like explain analyze. These commands peek under the hood and show you the exact query execution plan. Basically, stop guessing and start measuring. Performance is great, but protecting that data, that's the whole ball game. Section 5, safeguarding your data, protecting against loss and overwrites. Instead of permanently nuking records from existence with a hard delete, our source highly recommends using soft deletes. The record stays right there in the database, but it gets marked with a deleted at timestamp. This is a lifesaver for audit trails and recovering from accidental clicks. But there is a catch. Developers have to be hyper-vigilant about explicitly excluding these soft-deleted records in their everyday queries. Otherwise, those deleted items will magically show up like ghosts for your users. Then there's this really sneaky danger called the lost update problem. Let's walk through a timeline. Say at 10 a.m., 2 admins open the exact same product page. At 10:01, admin A changes the price and hits save. Then, at 10:02, admin B changes the stock amount and saves a minute later. Because admin B loaded the page before admin A updated the price, admin B unknowingly saves the old price back to the database. They just silently overwrote admin A's work without anyone realizing it. To stop those silent overwrites in their tracks, we bring in optimistic concurrency. We use a concurrency token, which is essentially just a version number attached to the record. Before allowing any save operation, the system checks this token. If the version in the database is newer than what the admin is trying to save, the database rejects the update entirely. No more silent data loss. And that brings us to our final architectural pillar, Section 6, Mastering Transaction Boundaries, the all-or-nothing approach. Think about your standard create order workflow. It's almost never just one step, right? You have to insert the order, insert the line items, reduce the inventory stock, and then create a payment record. In a serious API, all of these interconnected operations absolutely must succeed or fail together as one single unit. If that stock reduction step fails, you simply cannot end up with a half-created order sitting in your database. That's a total disaster for your business logic. This is exactly why your high-level use case handler must be the one to explicitly define when a transaction starts and ends. You never want to hide that critical transaction logic down inside your low-level repositories. I want to wrap up with this incredibly grounding reminder from our source material. TypeORM and PostgreSQL are good tools, but tools do not replace discipline. You can be running the most advanced tech stack on the planet, but without explicit migrations, thoughtful indexes, concurrency control, and strict transaction boundaries, you are going to run into serious trouble. Which leaves us with one final, pretty critical question for you to chew on. After seeing the stark difference between local development magic and harsh production reality, is your API's database strategy truly ready? Applying these disciplines definitely takes effort, but I promise it will make you a vastly better engineer. Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer, and I really hope this gives you the tools you need to build a truly serious backend.